So Dexter episode 9 and 10. We're going to talk about both because we were sick during episode 9 and couldn't get to it. And episode 10 is the season finale. So, real quick on episode 9, we've got Dexter revealing all to Harrison. Eventually he gets to it. And then we get Harrison getting his gun, which is foreshadowing. Obviously, we're going to be talking about spoilers for the whole damn show here because this is the end. This is the end, friend. We've got Dexter in Christmas sweaters, which was cute. Mm-hmm. Trying to be that all-American family, and he's always failing at that stuff. Kurt shows up to the Christmas party, which was, awkward, to say the least. And I like how Dexter and Harrison are like, we need to get proof in order to take Kurt down? Really? He's tried to kill your son. Yeah. In cold blood. I don't
know what other proof you really need.
That was real weird. That was really weird. He's like, I'm going to teach you the code, and you got to do this with this, and you got to make sure.
I think that
Pretty sure he knows.
But I think that it's just Dexter trying to be like, this is a learning opportunity. Like, this
guy tried to kill you. That's a good learning opportunity. Yeah. We kill him.
Yeah.
He chased you with a gun. He's clearly the killer. End of discussion here. Okay. And... Angela's out doing her detectiving. Detectiving. How about detecting?
Since she's doing her, investigating.
Detectiving, her investigations.
She does a good job.
She does do a good job.
Connecting a lot of pieces.
Some people think that's too much of a jump. And that Dexter never used ketamine in the original show. He used a different drug. So that shouldn't come up on the search results. I'd have to go back and rewatch the show if that's accurate. That would be a big fuck up. Because she couldn't have connected those dots if he didn't use ketamine. So hopefully that's not true, because if it is, that's a major fuck up in the show. But I don't know. I did not confirm.
Yeah, I don't remember what he used.
Kurt burns down Dexter's house, which creates real big problems for Dexter in the future. We got me being right yet again, as always. No, not as always, but pretty often. That Kurt is preserving these girls like dolls and even keeps them in like life-size Barbie doll boxes on display in this hallway.
So creepy.
It is.
They look so perfectly kept too. Like, I don't know how he was able to keep them that well. Yeah. But there's so many of them too. There's just, it's like 2 or 3, at least one long hallway, and then it branches off into 2 other ones.
Yeah, there's at least
which is wild.
30 girls there, which is just crazy. One of them didn't make the... I would have liked to have seen one girl in there with just a completely smashed face.
Yeah.
That would have been pretty funny.
Hi.
And fucked up. Angela figures it out. Harrison sees Dexter as a hero. I thought that that's the route that they were going to go with in this show when it came to Angela. Finding out that Dexter stopped Kurt after the death of Iris. I thought that she was going to feel more, connection to Dexter on that. Like, wow, this guy really did fucking deserve it. I'm going to let you go. That is not what ends up happening. We're going to get to the end here because I definitely have some things to say about it, as I'm sure we all do. Harrison finds out about Matt, which he takes pretty well. Dexter's just like, oh, he was a piece of shit. He got 5 people killed, whatever, bye.
Yeah.
And Harrison's kind of like,
oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Ultimately, Harrison does not stay on his side, but they do end up killing Kurt, and they gets letter and proof of death. What is that? I don't remember writing that. Gets letter and proof of death.
Proof of Dexter's death? Like the fake obituary that Andy
No, that was the end of episode 7. I don't remember. Doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Moving on to episode 10. So here we go. The finale of Dexter. Forever now. For real. Now I've seen a lot of mixed reviews on this episode, to be expected, as there usually happens with these really popular shows. When they end, you can't please them all. Overall, how did you feel about the ending?
I think it was pretty, it was okay. I wasn't head over heels with it. I don't hate it either. I just kind of was like, all right, that makes sense. I think we had, talked about kind of the path that the show was going to go, and we sort of speculated, that this would happen. I don't know. I don't know if what I would change necessarily. I did feel that there was some very out of character moments with Dexter, but I kind of have felt that throughout the show. There's a couple things that he's done that's just what? But it's oh, he's rusty and all that. And I do think that plays a factor into how his character was written for this season, is that he hasn't been killing for so long, and now he kind of jumps back into it, and he becomes really just irrational, at times with it, maybe just from the excitement of getting back into the swing of things. But I felt like there was a couple things that sort of felt rushed to me, but, I don't think that they should have necessarily gone on any longer. And as far as the ending, I think I don't really see them setting up any other seasons after this, unless it follows Harrison, and I think that show would be really hard to get people on board with, unless they go the route of what I was suggesting, and what you suggested too, which would be having
Dexter be
Dexter
the
as
dark
the dark passenger.
I think that would completely take away from the end of this show.
But I agree. I think that and I am fine with a character death. I think that he's had, plenty of screen time. It's not that I dislike his character, wouldn't enjoy more stories, but I just don't know kind of where else they can bring his character to make it anything new and interesting, because otherwise I feel like it would be more of the same,
Sure. Okay, cat.
Come here. What did you think of it?
Overall, I liked it. I know as soon as, they kill off a major character like this, and it doesn't go exactly the way people want and all this, it's going to be the worst thing that's ever existed in the history of ever. So as soon as the episode happened, I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
This is going to get some serious backlash to it. I love aspects, for sure. I think this is a much better conclusion and much better episode and season than episode 8. I definitely think there's things that I'm not huge on when it comes to just how things do feel rushed in places. But that being said, I really like to focus on the whole dynamic between Harrison and Dexter, and just how they point out that Dexter really is, even though he tries to be the good guy, he really does fuck up everybody's lives he's around. Right? And he really is mostly about self-preservation at the end of the day. And I'm glad that this show kind of shines some light on that, and he was able to see who he had become through the eyes of his son. It's only in that moment where Dexter typically runs. Dexter typically, will kill to survive. And he ultimately does end up killing a very innocent, good guy in Logan at the end of this show. And that's the final straw for Harrison. That's the bridge too far. And, when Harrison points out to him, you killed someone good, you fucking ruin everything, you ruin everyone's lives. He does. He goes into his brain, and and he thinks about things in the moment, and he sees these flashes of Rita, and he sees flashes of Deb, and he sees flashes of LaGuerta, and he sees flashes of other people. Harry, he sees, you know, and it's like, wow, I really did ruin these people's lives. I really did get these people killed. Like, no matter what I try to do, I'm always going to be the thing that stops, you know, that ruined the people I love's lives. Yeah. You know, and now here's Harrison, and Harrison's gonna have to give up his life for the sins of his father. Like, oh, now we gotta go on the run. I just killed a cop. They all know who I am. We're gonna have to get in this car and run off together. Yeah. This is gonna ruin Harrison's life. Yeah. Absolutely 100% across the board. Now, why do I think Harrison has to leave? And why Angela is like, you need to go, get in the car, and here's money, and never come back. That I don't know. That I don't understand. You know, she can either say that she shot Dexter, or she can say he shot Dexter because Dexter was coming after him. Why he has to run away, I don't understand that at all. It doesn't make any sense. The only thing that it is like she doesn't want to see him. So she's like, get the fuck out of my town. But she couldn't really charge him with anything. No.
That's one of the parts of the episode that I was a little like, I don't know if that makes complete sense. I think it's more of a way to just get him out of town and sort of out of.
But he loses his girlfriend over it.
He loses his girlfriend, and but I have to say that I really liked the scene between Harrison and Dexter at the end. I like the dialogue, and especially the things that Harrison's saying to him. Like, you know, what is it? He says something about his anger and how he's like you're just fucked up, but like I'm fucked up because of you.
Absolutely.
You know, something like that, which I really appreciate, because, you know, the whole season is like a speculation, and like, is Harrison like Dexter? Does he have this dark passenger? And like, he does have anger and he does want to hurt people, but you know, when when Dexter kills Kurt, like Harrison doesn't actually participate in the killing, right? Like, he stands there and watches. He gives him trash bags at one point, but then he, you know, sees the blood running towards him on the tarp and kind of has flashbacks to when he was a kid and has to leave and everything. So I think that he definitely, you know, while in the beginning he's painting his father as like, oh, you are like Batman, like you're this vigilante, like that's super cool, I can channel my darkness for good. Like, he does have morality, whereas Dexter does not. Dexter is a sociopath. Dexter doesn't have that same sense of like right or wrong that normal people do. And Harrison, although he might be traumatized, isn't like that. However, I do think that it's pretty fucked up, though, that Dexter basically makes Harrison kill him, because up until that point, Harrison hadn't killed anyone. And so, you know, by shooting his father, like, I don't know if that's going to open another. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's, I mean, not only is it his dad, who he's, you know, knows as the Bay Harbor Butcher and a serial killer and everything, but also just a person in general that he's now killed. And I think that that's possible that it could continue the cycle with Harrison, although I think the ending of the show is kind of an upbeat, positive one, with Harrison kind of, you know, escaping this dark part of his life. But
I think it lines up, though, with Harrison's intentions. Like, Harrison wants to stop bad people from doing bad things, and the person that he's around that does the bad things is Dexter, and Kurt is already disposed of. And I think Dexter's kind of like a Terminator. He can't self-destruct. He's not going to kill himself. Like, that's not, he has too much self-preservation for that. But if Harrison can do the job for him, it's like, no, I need you to do this for me. And, you know, Harrison sees it as an act of, saving people. Like, if Dexter continues to keep being out there, he's going to continue to keep hurting innocent people in his unending blood lust. Right? Like, yeah. Dexter needs to murder. Like, that's his desire. That's what he wants most. And he'll come up with any excuse to do it. And he's able to have this code in order to do it. But, you know, at the end of the day, Dexter just wants to kill. Yeah. And he's finding an excuse to get it done. And yeah, I mean, when he kills Logan, it's definitely a, wow, did this just happen? I actually was like, is this a dream sequence? Yeah. Like, you know, this doesn't fit him. But then you think back of the death of LaGuerta. Yes. You think of, you know, all these other things, like, he even shows Dokes. Yes. in his memory, because Dokes was innocent as well.
Right.
And he gets him killed and framed. Yes. He didn't just fucking kill him. He ruined his legacy.
Yeah.
Like, Dokes is now known as the Bay Harbor Butcher, and you don't think that leaves a stain on his associated family and friends?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you were fucking friends with the Bay Harbor Butcher?
Yeah.
Like, you were married to, you're the son of, you're the what? You know what it would do to my life?
Well, that's the thing.
If my dad was the fucking butcher of Regent Street, it would be over for me.
That's the thing with Dexter is that he kills innocent people when it benefits him. Like, it's sort of when he's pushed to that point, like, oh, they're about to discover me, or they're about to, not even discover, but, reveal who I am to the rest of the world, and then he'll kill those people. And with Logan, he wasn't intending to kill him, like, he wanted him to just kind of, like, pass out so he could escape, but obviously that doesn't happen. He kills him. And, yeah, I think that, Dexter, it's like, he is this anti-hero where, like, there's a lot of times where you find, like, the other people that he's killing are horrible monsters, and you're rooting for him because you're like, hell yeah, he's taking them out. But at the end of the day, like you said, he just wants to murder people. Like, he does want to hurt people just as much as the others. The only thing that's different is that he had Harry, who tried to get him to channel his murderous rage towards something that could be good. But like Deb points out, like, that's child abuse. That's fucked up. He should not have done that. Dexter should have been put in therapy, and maybe even a mental institution or a prison.
I think the people who aren't gonna like this episode or this ending are the people who really want to see Dexter as the hero.
Yes.
They like to believe that all the things that Dexter does is for the good of this and that. But Dexter fucks up. And Dexter sometimes kills the wrong people and gets the wrong people killed. And you can be like, oh, well, that was just an intention to do this and that. Not always. Not always. Like, Dexter is a monster. Like, we all want to like him.
Yeah.
We all want to, to be on his side and think that he's always doing the right thing, but he's not always doing the right thing. And I definitely think that, yeah, that's where the majority. Now, will there be other people who are like, no, I see that Dexter's a monster, I just don't like the way they did this. That's fine.
Sure.
I just think that the majority of people who dislike this are going to be the people that are like, no, Dexter would never do that. Dexter wouldn't have killed that cop. That's bullshit. That's shitty writing. That's fine. I mean, that's the way you see that. I just find that things were rushed, and they set up things here and there, like the billionaire that didn't play into this at all, who's only there as a red herring, but we all knew it was Kurt. I definitely knew it was Kurt the entire time. So I was never confused on any of that. I like the whole idea of, this whole father figure battle between Kurt and him, and then, finding out that this journey, because this is more about Harrison, right? This season's more about Harrison and how he has been affected by Dexter's actions and how he blames himself for what happened. And then he realizes in the end, like, no, I'm not fucked up because of me. I'm fucked up because of you.
Yeah.
Which is true. I mean, whether it's in his DNA or whether it's because of what Dexter did or both, those are all because of Dexter. So overall, it's good. I like that this season exists as a cap to Dexter, because I hated season 8 so much. I think this is a better ending. I like that we kind of get a closeout between Harrison and Dexter. I like that we get to see Dexter finally realize, like, oh shit, I'm a monster. Like, I probably shouldn't live. And he stops running. He just sits there and takes it. And he's like, right here, like, go for the heart like I did. Like, there's good stuff in there.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not done perfectly, and the setup doesn't work exactly. I mean, look at this. I have like 3 notes.
Sentences.
I have like 3 notes for this entire episode.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's not good.
There wasn't a lot. I mean, one of the things too, like with Batista, I felt like with Angela calling him again, and that sort of felt like, oh, were we going to get a reunion and have, you know, Batista confront Dexter is kind of what I thought would happen, and then that doesn't pan out. So I sort of was like, why is that? I don't know if it was.
It's there to just throw fire
yeah.
on him, like
and
you're
just
fucked.
Like, well, if I can't get you convicted, then you'll go to Florida for the death penalty.
But, he does not want to face Batista, but Batista knows that Dexter killed Oliver in police lockup. He has it on film and lets him go.
Yeah.
So where's your police work? Where's your ethics?
Seriously.
Like, please get off your high horse. But he's just pissed because he thinks that, you know, his ex-wife was killed by Dexter, and this is why he wants him. But whatever.
Right. But like you were saying though, like, so your lack of notes, I feel like the episode is a very straightforward, very like not minimal, but like simplistic plot, closing the story, and it, you know, it does it. Like, it doesn't really do a horrible job at it. Like I said, I felt like I don't hate it. I like it all right. I think it could have been.
It's a good season,
but I think it was a good season, and I agree with you. It's way better than the last episode that we got.
Yeah, it's a good season. It's not a great season. It's not a great ending.
But it's
good.
Better.
It's good.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
I'm very like okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was fun to
cool.
see Dexter again. You know,
would I have liked to have it been like life altering?
Sure.
And be like, wow, now that's the conclusion.
Yeah.
That I always wanted. I like the stuff between Harris and Dexter. Yeah. I'm always gonna like that. I think that's good stuff.
I agree. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really have much else to say about it. It's real straightforward, as you said, and my feelings are kind of just like, yeah.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's
how I feel.
That's better than shit.
Absolutely.
For me.
Oh my
so
gosh.
I'm happy.
If we compare it to,
I was angry at the end of season 8.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god. It's better than fucking I Know What You Did Last Summer.
That's what I was just gonna say. Like,
oh my god.
So much so, like, to have, you know, and even like consistent shows with okay endings are much better. Like, obviously we want the ones that are like fantastic. You want to have like the elevated things that you're watching and are excited to watch.
People never liked fucking last episodes of shows.
But it's hard, you know, because you can't make everyone happy, and everyone has different expectations for, you know, what they think should go down.
Breaking Bad is like that one show that like everyone loved the end of, and that's like it.
Otherwise, everyone's like boo or yay.
Yeah, it's pretty split typically. It's pretty split typically. I think the reason why Breaking Bad was able to go out the way that it did is because the creator knew to end it on a high note. Right? I think the problem with most shows, Dexter included, is that a lot of shows go past their runtime. Right? So they'll, and of course this is for ratings and money. Yeah. But what's his name? Vince Gilligan or Galligan or something? What's his name? The Breaking Bad guy? Think of it. That's it. It's just I think that's how you say it. It doesn't matter. Anyways, he knew Breaking Bad was at the height of its fame and of its ratings and everything, and they were like, he's like, I'm ending it because this is where it naturally needs to end. I could prolong this for another 5 seasons because it's so popular if I really want to, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let it organically end where it needs to end, and you know, it works as one story because that was what he wanted to do, and he knew how to end it, where to end it, whatever, and he stuck to his guns, and AMC was allowing him to do that. And then there's shows like Game of Thrones where the show ends prematurely, right, where it's like season 7 and 8 could have been, that show could have went 10 seasons, right, or the last 2 seasons could have been at least 5 episodes longer each. You know, they should have had 13 episodes per season to fill in all that extra context there. So sometimes you can end a show too soon, and then, but most shows end shows way past their expiration date, right? They always wait for the height, and then the viewership to start dropping and dropping and dropping, and once it gets to a place where they're like, oh, well, we can't maintain this anymore. End the show.
Yeah.
And then the writers are like, well, we didn't have an idea in mind
right.
for where to end this. So I guess I don't know, they die, or I guess they just go on, or whatever. Like, it just, they don't know. Like, they just don't know. And that's not, but this season, I will say, this season, like it or not, it was intentionally written from episode 1 to episode 10 to be the reintroduction and the demise of this character.
Yes.
Now, was the show planned this way? No. Was episode 1 of season 1 of Dexter written in order for this to happen in this season? Absolutely not. No. Right? This is a we're trying to make it up to you for screwing season 8 up, and everyone hates that. And unfortunately, sometimes it's just maybe leave well enough alone, because a lot of people are still just pissed off and are like, why'd you even bring me back here?
Sure.
But this show was really highly rated until this episode, right? They were all in the 9s.
Yeah. And
the show's at a 9 point something overall anyways. So they had the audience back.
Yeah.
100%. They just lost a lot of them because they went with the deciding factor of Dexter is a monster and needs to die.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't like that.
Yep. But, oh well, it happened.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
I too.
I don't need any more seasons of Dexter.
No.
It's over. Yeah. He's killed enough people. What are we going to do? What is it?
Like,
they want him to get away, ride off into the sunset with Harrison, live this happy life.
They're like a father-son
murdering duo.
Yeah. I mean, that, I guess, could be something, but I don't think it would feel the same
No
at
lessons
all.
learned.
Yeah, there's no lessons learned. And also, like, the whole thing, I think, with Dexter, that was one of the appealing things of his character. Like, the interesting things is that he's this, like, solo lone wolf kind of person, right? And all the normal people in his life he's using in some way to mask his monsterish self. So having a son with him, I think it takes away from that aspect of his character.
But to me, this is his final moment of heroicism, right? Like,
sure.
this adds to that character of, like, I gotta kill the murderers. I need the bad people to die. And in that moment, he realizes, I'm the bad guy. Yeah. I gotta go. That's what I like about it. It's Dexter finally realizing that he fits his own code.
Yeah.
And that he's gotta go.
Yeah.
And that there's only one other person he's tried to teach this code to that's right there in front of him. Yes. Well, I mean, he tried to teach it to Lumen. But whatever.
Yeah.
And okay, he has tried to teach it to other people. That's not the point. The point is that Dexter sees himself as the monster and sacrifices himself in the end because he knows that he fits his own code and it's gotta go.
Yep.
And I think that speaks really well to Dexter. So, I think it's a good ending. Get over it. I'll get murdered for that comment.
Get over it.
Don't care. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're done.
All right.
Bye.